guest,
Okay,
I believe.
very well, understood. Let's go with Nadine. What about your side? I guess you're on two funnels right now. You're in guest and partner. So have we been discussing your biggest frictions in both sides?
Yes, mostly for the negotiation ones,
Okay.
sir, but probably we have some of the technical issue as well that needs to be covered by the reservation team, which is conversion juga kan. Itu
Okay.
yang needs to be discussed in the guideline.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Nadine, I'll rely on you to open the coda and share the screen. And let's see, there's Gray, is this the same thing that you were talking about in terms of the technical thing that needs to be fixed that Nadine just mentioned?
Which one? Or what?
This technical issue that Nadine said that needed to be fixed in the reservations in order for conversions to happen? Is that something you've experienced
yeah.
as well? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. For our new people here, welcome Dimas, welcome Riska. This is our very esteemed and awesome conversion chapter, and we have awesome meetings because we're just really hyped to be. Oh, Irma too as well. Oh, there you are, Irma. Hey, oh,
hello.
Hi there. You didn't
I'm
move.
here,
Okay,
sir.
hi. Okay, hi, Irma. Welcome. How did I not see you? Okay, fantastic. For all the new people, please, let's go to Nadine. Nadine, what should new people do before they join this chapter?
You guys should read our conversion guideline basically, and you're actually really to read both funnels guidelines such as partnership and also guest side, but you need to focus on your squad juga gitu. Like Irma, you are serving the guest squad guideline, then you need to read the conversion guidelines for the guest squad. That's the preparation that you need to do before you joining this chapter discussions.
Excellent. Okay, and are there any expectations that we have of new members, Nadine, that the new members should be aware of?
Basically, all the basic understanding about negotiation persuasions that should be understood by the newcomers before joining the discussion, so that later when we usually we are discussing by cases, right? So we have the same context and the same understanding.
Excellent. Right. So all the new people here, please follow and take Nadine's advice today. We're going to be using a lot of terminology and some background. And so for you to get the most out of this particular discussion, it helps to actually have some background knowledge. Okay. Now, the way this works is we're going to be taking a look at a few cases today that we've experienced in perhaps all three user funnels: guests, partners, and employees. We're going to ask ourselves, what could we have done better in terms of understanding how to persuade, how to negotiate, that could have resulted in more success, right? Those are some cases where we have failed. Then we're also going to be examining cases where we've succeeded. And then we're going to share what have we done in these particular cases that led to our success, and how can we get more people within our chapter to adopt these best practices, okay? So the motivation here is that each of you will belong to a squad. Squad has a mission to achieve a positive transformation mission related to either the guest, the partner, or the employees. And then each of you also belong to a certain chapter, which is what are you doing with your squad? What special skill are you bringing to that squad? So I guess you're all going to be here to persuade and negotiate. Let's go ahead and begin. Okay, Nadine, let's rack it up. Where should we begin first?
Actually, today there is no cases, sir. But we're
no cases. Imagine that.
But since you're commanding to actually reviewing the guidelines, so that's probably the things that we're gonna do in today's discussions.
Okay, very good. So we can review the guidelines, and does let me think of actually something we can maybe talk about. Is there a lesson from Voss or Pink that we can cover that is related to persuasion and negotiation? Okay, well, if we really have no cases, maybe we can do some practice then. Okay, let's. Should we look at the stats first, then, Nadine?
Sorry, sir.
Do we need to look at the stats, the numbers from the previous week versus this week?
Actually, this one is where the guidelines actually put, but
Okay,
okay, let me share the discussion.
excellent.
This one. Yep.
Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, let's look down. Archive discussions, discussion. Okay, let's see. Follow up. Oh, we have a follow up actually over here, in pink. And then Nadine, can we scroll down a little bit more to see if we have any discussions that we need to follow up on? Okay, the second one over here. All right, good. Okay, so that's Mutia's discussion. Okay, let's do that then. Let's start with Mutia's discussion in the purple here on December 23rd. So Gray was oh right. Mutia's not here again. Where is Mutia?
Yeah, Mutia not here again.
Ah,
I will just clarify to her by Slack
okay.
probably.
All right.
Yep.
So I think we saw that. Okay, right. The direct and indirect. Great. This is where we had our sub discussion about how to direct Airbnb inquiries, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay, that one a direct approach. Great. Would you kindly like to share what the resolution has been on this one?
Yes. So if you open the Dean on the conversion in Coda, if you can, like on the regular Coda.
The guideline, you mean?
Yep, the conversion guideline.
Oh, for the okay.
Yep, there should be. If you can share screen, yes. But yes, me, Mr. Jing, and Kak Bayu have discussed about how to direct guests safely outside Airbnb. Yes, so this is the guideline slash discussion. So if you scroll down to the most bottom, um, it should be. Oh, I don't think it's there. Maybe up. It suddenly got erased. I don't even erase anything.
Okay,
Wow.
So I
let,
don't know where it goes. That
okay,
actually shooks me. But I still remember the takeaway
all
because
right,
I'm the one that's doing it.
okay.
So yeah, we're going for a trial on we don't say Instagram. We actually prohibit to say any like social media platform. And we also don't say at Bukit Vista because it gave a takeaway of our contact. So instead we say we are available online and you can search us. And so we kind of try to recommend them to search, and when they get back to us and they said, oh, is it in this platform, then we can say yes. So something like that. So it's a two-way conversation. Do you guys so far get what I mean? It's still a bit blurry.
I think
I
we
can
had
see
a
that.
different. I think we had a different approach, Gray, and I'm kind of like
Yes, if you can explain
I
more,
wish
elaborate, sir.
I wish I remembered the exact words I used because we came up with quite a good one there. Wait, you have it written down, Gray. I would do this, right? My memory doesn't serve me very well right now. So I think you had it written down. Bayu said we had three options and we would test these three options. Do you
Yes,
remember
correct.
where that was?
Yes, correct. It was supposed to be in this document, actually. That's why I'm shook. Yeah,
Maybe it's in
because
paper. Maybe it
I
was on some
haven't
other document.
touched the documents at all. Wait, let
Okay.
me search. I don't know what happened there.
Could it be in a
Uh,
different squad?
okay. Let me
Please
let me try
recheck
to see.
dulu,
Yeah, I will
Gray.
try to recheck. You
Okay.
can take back the platform first.
Okay. We'll leave this as follow up, and Gray will actually find the findings. We had three effective conversation leaders with whenever the situation happens. One of them was to, I guess we need to go back to Bayou. He was the original originator of that, but it was essentially to start a conversation and ask them specifically. But we should use that because I can't remember exactly what we said. I'm sorry, my memory doesn't serve me that well right now. But when we did say it, it was really good. It was essentially like a way that they start guessing, and then we just say yes at the very end. Okay, we're going to follow up with Gray, I guess, on the next discussion to see what's going on here. All right, let's go to the next one now. Next purple topic, Nadine. All right, so this is, oh, okay. All right, so provide the SLA. Right, this is using the new format. Okay, so I guess we have not been using this new format yet. This is, I think, what we said. Whenever you bring a discussion topic to this chapter, please bring what the current SLA is, then bring what the target is, and then let us know what the difference is, right? So let's say the SLA is, I don't know, 5 deals a month, and the current progress is we're only getting 3 deals a month. And tell us 5, 3, and then there's a deficit of 2, right, that we see. And then bring us cases where you see that it's causing a deficit in this SLA. So I think this needs to still be there. Nadine, I would actually, in fact, probably pin this to the very top because until we see that this has actually been followed, I think this cannot be resolved as done yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and pin that to the top so we see that. All right, let's do this. Nadine, we've never had this situation happen before, so I'm a little bit like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we discuss about? Should we do some role playing? Should we pretend to mirror, label? Is there anything else that I don't know, like do some Daniel Pink maybe on finding common ground, or Nadine, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, we can ask the all the members here right now. Are you guys did you guys encounter any difficult negotiations this week, within this week actually, or you guys are um very doing well this week, so there is no cases. Maybe let's go to Gray. Did you encounter any, Gray?
Not that I remember. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm still mind boggled where the notes actually went. Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
But oh, the air support is not with me. Oh, it's actually with Irma. Irma, you held air support too, correct?
Yeah, correct.
I believe the deal for the Despacito one, if you guys remember. They want to book the whole property. I
Yep.
believe we have sent the proposal, but we haven't heard from the guest back. So maybe you can inspect it if you can attach the screenshot, Irma.
Oh, okay.
It's on the pin chat. I forgot what's the guest name.
Pin chat.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, but it looks like that's not a very difficult enough so that you didn't attach it here, right? So it should supposedly attach here if it's like you're facing difficulty on that. So it looks like that's not really disturbing actually. So that's it's not been attached. Is there any other, Gray? Berarti emang nggak ada.
Yep. Can I say I actually didn't bring the case because of what Mr. Jing said, so I thought we will be focused on discussing guidelines today. Yeah, that's why. I didn't know that we will discuss both. I thought we will discuss what is the friction from the 3 p.m. meeting. What is the guest squad meeting, and then we bring it in like the guideline. Yeah, that's what I thought we're gonna do today, actually.
Okay, go back to you, Mr. Jing.
Okay. Here's a few things I think we need to do, everyone. So let's go to Gray. Gray, at what point did we discover this issue in the guest funnel? Just earlier, right? In the guest funnel, in the guest squad discussion. Is that correct?
About the guidelines?
About the technical issue that was happening that was making, let's say, some of the reservations not convert, which I'm still not sure what that is. We discovered just like an hour ago. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
So then I need to go either Gray or Nadine. Gray or Nadine, whose job is it to actually bring that case and write it onto this discussion board?
Then I suppose it's my fault then.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
I
We'll
didn't
just
bring
leave it.
any.
Okay. No, it's okay. So now we know who's going to bring it. So Gray, let's bring it in. So what is the situation, Gray, and what should we examine as our chapter? And thank you, Gray, for failing fast there and being transparent. That's a good sign. Tell us what the situation is.
Of the guests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Irma, could you please screen share if you can? Or can I take air support 2 from you?
We're discussing about the guests that having difficulty with our technical issue, Gray, bukan yang the Despacito ya.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes. For the technical issue, I actually put it on the my OKR actually to revise all the basic guidelines because if you actually checked, I think it's also because the guideline is actually not updated. I think that's why we also have problems to convert. So we are adding more guidelines, but like the old guidelines that we import from Dropbox, we never really updated.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So like
Let's.
the if you see the, you can check Nadine for the OTAs and media. There's actually on my OKR this month because it is all purely the guidelines from Dropbox.
Okay, got it. This brings up actually a pretty interesting concept, everybody. This is what we call garbage removal. Okay, garbage removal is this idea: if you have too many guidelines that stay here over time, and they all overlap with each other, then it becomes garbage because you're not sure which guideline should you follow. Right? So generally speaking, if you update a guideline and it's been proven to work, then you should remove the old guideline. Okay, so you need to, every guideline you add, try to remove one. Otherwise, you'll have, let's say, Gray in the particular case that we just saw with the direct approach on Airbnb. The old guidelines are still there, and the new guidelines haven't shown up. So there's a bit of a garbage removal situation there. Okay. But let's go ahead and take a look. Greg, can you tell us the nature of this technical issue that is happening on the reservations?
I think because it is actually not maintained weekly and it's never really looked upon.
I need a little bit more
Because
context. What isn't maintained and what's not looked upon?
so like basically because technically what's the reservation member that is currently in here are already old, right? So
Okay.
they already knew it without the guidelines. But like for example, when Irma came in and when she read the guideline, that's when we discover it's all jumbled up.
Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting.
Yep,
So
and
that's
it needs to
shifting content.
be it needs to be reviewed again.
Okay. Well,
Like
this is
that.
actually a good opportunity then to understand which guidelines need to be removed and which ones can be kept. So let's go to Greg. Great. Is it clear after having Irma here which guidelines are the most updated ones and which guidelines should be removed?
Yep. I probably needs to do more sub discussion with Irma also because I need to do the trial with her because she will be the one that used the guideline, the new guideline, right?
I see.
Well, she
Okay.
understand.
Let's go over to Nadine. Nadine, what do you think?
Actually, it's already proven at the some of the pairings that I did with Irma. For example, for the Airbnb basic understanding, this was the newest I would agree from the Dropbox to the Coda, but this still apa namanya belum ke unlock semua, Mr. Jing. So this we still like doing this little by little. the one that I already did is the Airbnb basic understanding actually.
Okay, got it. Let's do this.
Yep. And
Great.
also, sorry, Mr. Jing, if I want to add, I'm thinking on, I think awareness will do it. I adopt like when they said that they will input when is the last updated date, so I will put it there as well, so we can see when is it got updated. Yep.
Okay, got it. Here's what I'm going to decide to do, Nadine. I'm going to give you a shot, Nadine, at trying to decide what we should do in this particular case from a team management point of view, Nadine. Okay, and then I'll come in and I'll examine Nadine's decision. Nadine, what do you think we should do at this point now?
So at this point, actually, Gray, we haven't got any context. What is the real situation that happened? Masalahnya di mana, and what guideline should be revised, what guideline should be improved. Nah, itu needs to be clarified dulu, Gray. Case-nya apa, which guideline should be improved, and then after that we can take decisions. Okay, who gonna work on refining this particular guideline?
Okay,
that's
very
it.
good. Very good. Nadine, and how would you like to manage that then in the context of there's only half an hour left in this discussion?
Okay. Let's do this. Let's just discuss the case, Gray, so that everybody aware of the case. And then for the refining the guideline, it should be the follow-up action.
Okay. Nadine, this is where I think we should take a pause here, right? I agree with you. The issue is that there's a case where there's a guideline that needs to be resolved. But I think we've already spent 30 minutes doing this administration issue, which is not a good use of our time right now because the purpose of having a chapter here is to actually work on issues, okay? We're working on administration right now, which is not really benefiting anybody right now. There's no meat in this conversation. It's only by the way, everybody, I'd like to apologize today. I think this meeting is one of the worst meetings that we've ever had. And it's the worst meeting we've ever had because there's actually no real discussion to be had. The materials that should have been here are not here. And there's no meat. It's just like all just administration. So let us try to improve by having, let's say, the information available where it needs to be at the beginning, and just bring as much context with you into the discussion and have it written down, please. Otherwise, this doesn't really inspire delight. Somebody raised their hand. Yes. Okay. Who was it? Please speak.
Me, sir.
Yes,
Actually, just input a case from the employee side.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can go to the discussion.
Okay. But once again, this is where I need to apologize to the new people because I don't want any new person thinking that this is the way we run our meetings. It is not the way we generally run our meetings. We usually come to our meeting prepared with the correct topics already inside the discussion table. That is the correct way to actually have the meeting. The reason we do that is then, once again, I don't have to do this administration talk again, so that we spend our time working on actual issues. Now, if God bless and we have no actual more conversion issues, then maybe we can talk about something fun, right? But it seems like we still have some issues, but the administration aspect of bringing them here is becoming a friction. And that is not a high quality problem. That is a really low quality problem, okay? So please, we have the guideline on how to bring an issue here, right? Bring the SLA, bring what the SLA target is, bring the deficit, and bring your case, right? And that's the way we can start and not spend half an hour just talking about how to talk about things. All right, Vera, thank you very much. Okay, let's take a look at Vera's particular case. Okay, thank you very much. Nadine, in this particular case with Gray, what I would advise is just to have a sub-discussion, okay? Nadine, please have a sub-discussion with Gray. Get Gray to put the material together so that we can all understand it just by looking at it, and then have essentially a pathway rolled out so that we can resolve it at the next meeting. We're not going to take any more time, doing this particular run around looking for information, okay? And Nadine, the thing about team management is this: if we keep on taking time from the meeting, and this part I need everyone to understand, right? If somebody, this happens in America. Oh, let me just share a quick story with you because this is important for team discipline and team understanding and making sure we're aligned. Okay, so I'll share a very interesting story about my daughter. When my daughter was going to school here in Pudagading, the school was always open. She could show up 10 minutes late, 30 minutes late, whatever. She would just walk in and, like that's it, right? In America, where I bring her, the school closes the door at precisely the hour that the school, the time you're supposed to be there. The only way to get in school is you need to go and you need to report yourself as very late, and then you get a mark against you. So that's the way it's done. This is something we need to remember, right? If you did not bring your case here, if you did not actually do according to what the expectations of members are doing, then we're not going to discuss your case here because that's not fair, right? You wasted everyone's time. And it wasn't a very good use of the rest of the team's time. So we only process cases that have been correctly listed and correctly reported here, okay? That way, we don't get into a cycle of waiting or asking, or that's not a good use of the time here. Good. All right. So that goes to Vera, that goes to Gray, and that also goes to Nadine or whoever is going to be chairing the next meeting. Please uphold the high expectations that this incredible chapter should be doing. All right. So let's get back on track here. Okay, Vera. So in this particular case, what should you have done?
Wait, sorry. The question is, what should I have done?
Yes. What should you have done? I know you just put this up, but what should you have done?
It should be put it up before the workshop.
Thank you. Okay, should be put up before the workshop. Okay. So should we take the time to do your thing today, or should we not?
If we have time, I guess. I don't know.
All right. This is a warning, okay? Please don't do this again. Today we're going to do it, but in the future, if you want your case discussed, please have it up in time. That goes for all the new people too as well, okay? Build good culture. All right, let's go ahead and begin. Vera, please present your case. Show us what you're doing.
Okay, so I think this is a problem because we have a passing candidate, right? So they already passed the trials, but then actually that person agrees to like continue for the internship, but then after I send them the contract, turns out they drop out. So that is actually a problem, right? So yeah, so that actually takes that's a problem. Already took like a lot of bandwidth, but turns out drop out, right? So I already break down into our 5 pitch stages. So start with the identification, right? So this person texted me saying that I cannot join BFE. The reason is a little bit too personal. I cannot really talk about it. But the point is, this person is not supported. And I was like, oh, too bad. You cannot continue with the internship. But then I asked her like, not supported as in like how? And then she said that more to like not supported by the parents, and the parent was like, try to find another internship. So that is the identification, the first stage. And then the second stage is building trust, right? So I use accusations like, is it because of the unpaid internship? And then like I also asked her like, did you ask your parents about participating in the trial program in Bukit Vista? And then she answered the first question. Yeah, it's one of the reasons, which is the unpaid one. And then turns out she didn't tell her parents that she's participating in the trial program because she thought that it's like only trials, while the internship is like 3 months, right? So okay. And then to the next stage, I used the mirroring. I was like, oh, so your parents want you. I think it's labeling. So your parents like wants you to work in a place with, getting paid, right? And then like, and she also mentioned about the other recruitment process. So she's like, still in process. And then she answers, yeah, maybe because she's like a fresh graduate and they want her to have a job that is stable. So that's the third stage. And then the fourth is pattern matching, right? Okay, so I was like, but you already told them about the chances of being higher in BFE because like getting paid, right? And then like, yeah, she already told them, but it's already a final decision. Yeah. And I think I lagged in the fifth stage, which is the closing decision. And I was like, oh, so it's already final, and there's nothing we can do. So yeah,
Okay, all right, interesting. Let me go
yeah.
to Nadine to examine this discussion. Do you believe that Vera has correctly identified each stage, actually, in this particular example?
Okay. So let's review. Yeah, this is the identifications. Um, I don't really see the identifications stage in here actually, Vera.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what are the things that you identified within these conversations basically.
Yes.
That's one. But for the building trust, I know that this you're trying to do the acquisition audit, but this yeah, but eventually it works basically, yeah. But it's um there's another way you can do, but the things that I really highlight on this is the discovery one actually. Apa namanya, Vera, but probably I'm not gonna say it now because we need to discuss with from the other dulu, see their opinion. But yes, still, sir, some of the stages is not really correctly apa categorized.
Okay,
For
very good.
example.
I would agree with Nadine, Vera. I think this is a really valiant first attempt, and you're trying the method out. Okay, but I don't. Let's go back to the very beginning. Okay, so let's start from here. Vera, this person has already been accepted. They're going to get a contract, right? This is what you have so far. Okay, guess what? You didn't close the deal when they got the contract. All right. When you offered them a contract and they were like, "Oh, okay," you didn't close the deal. Why? Do you see what the issue is? In the very first sentence, you got the contract. You went and gave them the contract, right? You said, "Okay, all right, you're going to be our new employee. Here you go. Here's the contract." Right? You were closing the deal, but you missed a step already. What is the step that's missing? Let's go to Vera.
Is it like call to action, sir?
No. When actually wait, let me rewind a bit. Why did you give? Okay, this person passed trials, right? This person passed trials, and then you offer them a contract, right?
I told her like, "Oh, you passed the trials, and I'm going to send you the contract in the next few hours." And she's like,
Okay.
"Okay."
Okay, great.
Uh-huh.
So that's trying to close the deal, but what step was missing before that?
Is that clarification?
No trust. Do you see it? There's no trust because it's a little bit too personal that I don't even want to talk about it, right? Okay? It's a little bit too personal. I don't want to talk about it. Let's see how Vera responded to that. She said, okay, tapi kalau boleh tahu gak supported itu maksudnya apa? Okay, that's actually interesting, right? Is that a mirror, Vera? Is that a mirror or is that a accusation?
Mirroring question.
No, it's an accusation. Not an accusation audit. It's an accusation. What do you mean you weren't supported? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's different from mirroring. You weren't supported? Question mark. Right? It's very different than what do you mean but you're not supported? Do you hear the difference? Let's say, for example, we're having a conversation, Vera. You go, Jing, I just can't do this anymore. I can't work here. I just don't feel supported. And I go, you don't feel supported? Yeah, I don't feel supported. I'm just so, I do this every day alone and nobody helps me. Nobody helps you. Yeah, like I'm on my own doing this and I've been doing 12 hours and I asked for mentors, but it seems like everyone's so busy. Everyone's so busy. So it's very different than saying this, right? I don't feel very supported. What? What do you mean you're not supported? Right? That's not mirroring. That's an accusation. It creates a confrontation now, right? You're creating essentially like what? Like I don't think you're right. I think you were supported. So you're not actually getting them to draw out like and explain on their own terms, right? Now they are forced now to kind of like defend. They're like, oh, what do you mean you're not supported? Well, oh, should I be? Should I actually? I don't know. No. What should I say in response? Okay. So I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go and accuse a person that their sort of statement isn't right. I would just say you're not supported, right? And then question mark, and then let them develop more, right? You could say it sounds like you have something that you like me to understand, right? That could be a label. That's a very empathetic label. You could say that as you could approach with either a mirror or a label. You could say it sounds like you have something that it sounds like you want me to understand. It sounds like there's something you could be better understood on, right? So that's the approach I would go here. So here's this condition, everybody. There's 5 steps to a negotiation process: identification, trust building, discovery, pattern matching, and closing the deal. So when you issued this contract, you didn't have this person's trust. Okay, this person doesn't trust you. That's why they're not telling you why the personal reasons are. So you need to get that trust back first. You need to go, oh, you have personal reasons? Question mark. Yeah, I have personal reasons. And it sounds like you're not comfortable sharing these reasons. No, I might not be. Okay, but I really want to understand, and maybe you could give me some information about why. As long as you're willing to say something, I could take that as a beginning, and then say, okay, well, whatever, 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 right? Let's go to Irma. Irma, do you believe this person actually has parents that objected to this internship?
And they told something I don't get. But the one I don't get support. Oh, she not mention the parents right in here.
No, she mentioned the parents. She said my
Oh
parents
yeah.
don't agree, right? But
Oh
whose
yeah.
idea of asking that? How do we get this? How do we get this parents not approve business?
Mm, I'm so sorry, sir. Can you repeat the question because
Okay.
I'm.
Here's a question. Do we actually believe that this person's parents, right, objected
Mm-mm.
to them taking this internship? Do we actually believe that? Do you believe it, Irma?
Um, 8, 11, tapi kalau I'm not really believe
Not
because
really. Okay. Why?
yeah, because it's like when she said that the parents not support her, is that okay for us to know it just in a simple case like this? Because and it's too short for it's just the time is like the answer is too short, like
Okay. Maybe
they
not
not.
enough detail. Maybe not enough detail, right? But let's go over to Nadine. Nadine, how can we logically deduce maybe there are no parents involved in this case? What's the logic here?
Um, yes, because I think the way Farah asked the question is leading. It's kind of like a leading
Yes.
questions. You
Yes.
lead actually. You lead the person, and he kind of like aware that you're leading to the questions. Okay, I'm just gonna do it anyway, something like that. So that's the very important thing when you're actually even before go into the pattern matching stage. You cannot do the leading questions because we need to what is that, discover all the surprises, right? That's
Correct.
my opinion actually.
Okay, let's keep on going. Let's see this. Who introduced the idea of the parents? Let's keep on going, Nadine. Okay, so this at this point is we're
Okay.
talking about not being supported, and then let's keep on going to the next stage, next conversation. Let's see where the parents thing emerged. Oh, by the way, I don't think it's the parents either. Actually, I don't think there are parents involved in this.
Yeah. I mean, Vera said mereka at the first time. Vera, she doesn't. I mean, this person didn't tell any other, subjects
Right.
within these situations. But you pointed mereka first, Vera.
Right.
You
You
don't even
planted the
know.
idea in their head,
Yeah.
and then you planted the idea about the unpaid internship in their head, right? So you came
Yes,
up with your
that's it.
own thing, and then they just went, okay, that's easier to say, right? So
Yeah.
remember, in a lot of, if you have any experience doing persuasion negotiation, people sometimes are afraid to tell you no. And if people don't tell you no, it's because they don't trust you, right? They don't really feel comfortable telling you no. So just say, oh, I'll go home and talk to my wife about it. Talk to my husband about it. I need to get my parents' approval. I need the fundamental reason they're telling they don't trust you, right? They just want to get you to just kind of go away. And the more you probe, the more awkward the conversation starts getting, right? Because they've told you some nonsense, right? They don't trust you, so they tell you a lie. And the more you probe on that lie, the more uncomfortable they get. And then they shorter and shorter answers with less and less context, right? So you can kind of see you're not getting anywhere by keep on asking about the parents anymore, because they're like, that's not the real reason. But since we've agreed to lie on that, I guess I'll have to keep on supporting that particular idea. So that is where you got stuck there. You got stuck on step 2. You didn't build enough trust. You need to think about ways to actually mirror, label, ask calibrated questions to build that trust back. Okay. So starts with those personal reasons. You have personal reasons. I can understand. Okay, here's 3 ways you can unlock it. Okay, first way, third party story. A lot of candidates feel uncomfortable sharing their personal reasons, but what they discover over time is that when they reveal a little bit more information about it, they can often find a very good solution here, because we listen to people's personal issues, right? Would you like to be the next person that I listen to? Okay, you can use that as a way of building that trust, so that person goes, okay, all right, I'll tell you this then, right? Oh, good. Okay, and then now you can get them. Now you can go into discovery, because if you don't get that trust, you can't discover. Like, your discovery is not real discovery. It's like this kind of bullshit. Right? It's like, yeah, my wife, didn't want me to buy this car because she thinks that we shouldn't spend too much money on new cars. Really, your wife? Okay, all right. So, what does your wife like to spend money on? uh, uh, kitchen furniture, kitchen equipment, kitchen equipment. Yeah, really. What kind of kitchen equipment does she have? Like that expensive stuff. So, so you got to be able to kind of feel that out. This person's hesitating; they're not really sure what to say, and they're just kind of padding it. So you need to go back to the beginning and say, "Hey, look, some people say that it's their wives, when in fact themselves they are not comfortable with the decision." Could that be you? Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Right? You can tie it together. So that's the first way is you can use a third party story. Okay, third party stories are really good for unlocking the way somebody wants to build trust. The other way is you just, like I demonstrated just before everybody, you could use a mirror. You just keep on mirroring what they say. You have personal reasons. Yes, I have personal reasons. And then when you get stuck, then you use a label again. Sounds like you might not be comfortable sharing that. Yeah, I think you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so if I'm understanding where you're coming from, do you think I could understand maybe one of your personal reasons, right? Kind of go with a calibrated question after that. Just one? Yeah, just one. Okay, all right. I really don't like that it's unpaid. Okay, that has to come from them. That can't come from you, right? If you lead them, like Nadine said, with could it be this, could it be this, then they just have to say, yeah, I guess so, right? And it didn't come from the heart. So that's the second way. I'm gonna go over to my wife, Lana, for the third possible way, right? Babe, what would you do to try to unlock the situation um, from a partner, from an employee, or from a guest, where you need to build that trust?
I think need more discovery because in here Vera didn't even know how they like the trial, like how they're doing on the trial, like the team and the task they do, like how enjoy because like sometimes the alasannya itu untuk apa ya being nice aja gitu loh. Jadi tapi kalau di BD itu biasanya oh I'm gonna talk to my wife like oh I often heard that so I will follow up you into tomorrow would be the okay enough time to your wife to decide like because we know that right. So in your case I see that you are in here like you just assuming that this person will be, you just
Right.
have a contract. Like maybe my hypothesis that you give the contract, maybe something they don't agree in the contract, but you didn't tell you in the face that they don't like the term in the contract, because in the beginning, oh, you thank you, you passed trial, and yeah, okay, right? So you get the agreement, but the turn off when after get the agreement, then suddenly ada alasan, like, oops, what is that? Gitu. Jadi kalau kalau analisaku sih gitu.
Right. And to avoid this happening in the future, I would probably set expectations at the very beginning, right? Vera, right, for this. I generally tell people before they come to trials, it's a very difficult company. It's very challenging. The work we do is good for these kind of conditions, but it might be very difficult for these kind of conditions, just to kind of be self-filtering here, right? So here's a few things I would do differently about the discovery. You need to know who it is, but you didn't ask who did not support you, right? So you kind of just put that out there, and it might not be the right who. Did the HR person not support you? Did your boyfriend not support you? Did whoever not support you, right? You also
Yeah,
have
the
to kind of,
team,
yeah,
like the task. So yeah,
correct.
maybe after the trial, you just have a call. Hey, how was your a week been doing? Did you have fun, or like did you having hard time? Like what make it hard? Like, and then you discover people offering the contract, right? And then you can see, oh, this person is like, oh, enjoy the team. So who's you
Correct.
enjoy the team with the most? And then you can ask like, you know oh, this person, why you enjoyed with this person, like, then
Excellent.
when like, oh, they enjoy with this team, berarti project apa yang kamu working on. Nah, jadi kalau umpamanya mau persuade, hey, if we have this is bigger project with this team, with this trajectory kind of project, if you interested, you accomplish that project. So yeah, I'm interesting. Okay, if that the case, if I'm looking for someone that doing for that, will be you the best person? Like, I
Mm,
think so. I can do it. Ah, okay then. So I think I know I gonna. I know how I can help you. So I think I can give you opportunity instead of you offering. So it's opportunity for them. So not
correct.
as a you know, as you force them to do something because they want to do this project, because they feel that want to pursue this project and have legacy on this project with this team, and then you have strong apa enter gitu.
Okay, very good, very good, and thank you, Dave, for that point. So I agree. We need to build the trust first, and after we build the trust, we need to somehow get into a discovery. So we need to know what the key pivot point was on this particular situation. I still don't really know what it is, right? I get a vague feeling it's something about money, but it's not very clear, right? What the exact the issue is. So I think getting that discovery out is important. There's a Daniel Pink actually mentions a pretty effective method, everybody, for doing this. If somebody says they drop out and they want to hear it, they have personal reasons, you can go two ways. You can kind of discover their personal reasons, or you can try a different approach. And you can say, hey, look, so 1 out of 10, how would you give this? How would you say your chances are of working here? How did the trials go in terms of making you interested in working here? Let's say they give it a 7. 7. Okay. Why didn't you give it a 1? Right? Why not a 1? And so what you're doing then in that particular case is you're reminding them of all the things that are good, right? So they're going to go, oh, it's not a 1. I mean, I like my colleagues, seem pretty fair. The company seems to have a good trajectory, which is actually smart, because instead of you telling the person what's good about working here, they're telling themselves, right, what's good about working here. So you go through that side first. You go, why is it not a 1? After they finish why it's not a 1, ask them maybe why it's not a 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? So you go on the low end. So then they will build up essentially all the reasons that are good. And then you go on the opposite side. You go say, why is it not an 8? Why is it not a 9? And what keeps it from being a 10? And then you discover what are the opposite sides. Okay, so that's kind of a fourth approach that you could use, Vera, for discovering what are the key objections. You ask them to build up what are the strengths, and then you ask them to build up what are the weaknesses here. And through that, their personal issue might just drop out, right? They'll just reveal why it's not an 8, why it's not a 9, why it's not a 10, and then you'll get that answer too. Okay. So that's that. This is not closing a deal, right? Is this your final decision? Is never the way to close a deal, right? You can't close a deal that way because you don't know anything about what will trigger this person to say yes, right? So let's say you went back and let's say you used that fourth step method, the four method, right? So you discovered why it's not a two, why it's not a three, no, it's not. Okay. So let's say, for example, they said something like this. Jing, it's not, or Vera, it's not a three because it's really kind of rare to find a company like this, right? It's not a four. It's not a four because I really enjoy seeing like all the kind of teamwork and camaraderie and things that you do here. It's not a five because there's technology and I'm always interested in technology. It's not a six because of this. Okay, so they've already told you like three good reasons, right? And then you listen to the bad reasons. It's not an eight because Vera, it's not paid. It's not a nine because it's not a prestigious company. I can't use it for my future career. It's not a 10 because I expect a marvelous palace to work in if it's a 10. So then you can make them decide compared to what, right? Compared to what do you have right now? Do you have a palace on your offer right now? Are you choosing between us and a palace right now? Are you choosing between us and a place that gets paid? Okay, all right. Let's say you get paid on this other job. Is it worth to get paid but then take a risk on all the other things? Is it worth to get paid and maybe have bad teammates? Is it worth to get paid and let's say not have a good experience? Is it worth to get paid and not have the right culture? Does that add to your career long term? See, then you can actually have something to frame with. Then you can actually pattern match. But once you pattern match, then you go back up again, right? Then go, yeah, it's okay, right? Like, I really want that money more than anything else. Then you've kind of reached the logical end of your negotiation. You can then withdraw from negotiation. So it sounds like I can't really help you here. And they probably go, sounds about right, right? And then you have actually left negotiating rather than they leave the negotiation, right? Because you realize that they're not a match for you and there's no more things to say, okay? So that is the way that you should think about closing a deal in a case where there's no fit. A candidate that drops out ultimately, Vera probably won't be a fit anyway, right? Like, they're already having these doubts at the very beginning. Things are only going to get more difficult later. So, that's a warning to all the new candidates here. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Usually the trials are one of the most difficult phases. But yeah, let's go to
Yes, I really agree with what Mr. Jing has explained and also Moayana, but there is some input that I would like to give to Vera actually. Using the right tools to the right stages as well, right? It's the things that you need to remember, right? You're actually using the leading questions in the very beginning of the stages, which is not recommended in this graph. Okay, this is actually already apa designed because we know the framework how the negotiations work basically, and then this is also the tips probably. It always happen to the partners and also the guest sides. So when they're actually delivering us a bad news, we usually instead of responding into a chat, we prefer call because sometimes it's here to show our empathy because we can set the tone set and everything is more flexible right on the phone. So maybe if you get this kind of bad news that okay, I'm not feeling supported, I mean I don't think that I can take this internship over and everything like that, and then you can try to call and do all the stages by call. It's probably much easier, much efficient juga gitu.
Very good.
That's the things that my input actually responding to the bad news.
But it was a good thing she wrote it down. Otherwise, we couldn't see it, right? So in this particular case,
Yes.
it's a good learning mistake. Yeah, it's a good learning mistake because then we can actually guide you through each of the stages. But I would double down on what Nadine just said because through a call, you can actually detect truthfulness faster as well. Usually people can't lie that quickly, right? Like, but then if they wait 5 minutes and they think, oh, this is what I need to say. Oh, this is what I need to say. Then you might not be getting, let's say, the most direct answer. Generally, people lie differently on the phone than they would lie actually through chat, right? Because you need to kind of like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For like the acquisition audit actually what is it, Vera? I would have used this simple acquisition audit. Okay, I understand. You might think that you might not be comfortable sharing this to me, but I'm working as an HR. I'm getting used on being accepted and rejected by the people that that I offer. So that's whatever the reason that you are telling me later, not gonna be surprise me actually. But I'm really want to consider to listen and would like to take this into the consideration to our company and everything.
Yeah,
Something
you
like that.
can.
That's
Excellent.
very
It
simple.
can help.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a fabulous accusation audit. Yeah, that kind of nails it on the head. Yeah, you can use that all day long, Vera, for all kinds of bad news now. Use that. You might not feel comfortable telling me, but truth is, I hear these kind of things every day. All right.
Sometimes I can help people, and then sometimes their thing change, but new perspective,
Mhm.
just talk about it, and then you
Mhm.
get trust.
That's
And
right.
also, like, if you want to more like more ini apa terstruktur, you can like before the internship, what they want to achieve, what is the ideal place, like just write down what is the measurement, and then from that finish the internship. Hey, did you get all the goal that you wanted from the beginning? So, and then no, 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 no. Okay, what part and why? You're gonna discover more, and then okay. In that way, HR also can be improved in our internally. Hey, actually,
So,
this is the goal, and then this is what we don't get. So chapter lead. So this is the case we need to be fixed, right?
very good.
So because this one can the feedback over and over, so you have a data. So basically, like you make a checklist in the beginning, what the each person want interested to achieve, and put that checklist, and then by the end of the internship, and I mean the first trial, after the trial, and then you just have a talk. Hey, just simple talk, relax. This is relaxed talk. Just want to basically want to see how is the team or the chapter doing. It's more like to untuk ngacak diri gitu loh bahasanya, but actually to understand like what actually they facing during the trial, and then from
Excellent.
there, oh, I understand that you don't get like in the, for example, you have like checklist 1 to 5, right, or 6. For example, have a checklist that you can measure that criteria that you would like to measure to divine like to pattern matching, like what kind of person you're looking for, and the goal that you want to achieve in here. I think that will
There you
be
go.
very stable to and also can use as a data and a pattern for
That's right.
you to see like for all the interns, and then
Excellent.
also we can see how we lacking, so which part are we lacking, and then we can fix it, either in the leader or in the guidelines. So yeah, inspect in that part, so I think we'll be better in the overall time. Yeah.
Excellent. What Anna just talked about, if I can put a label to it, is thinking strategically about negotiation, not for one case, but thinking about what we can do as a company to actually be able to inspire delight, actually. So if we collect all the reasons over time and we get the truth out why people don't want to intern here or whatever, then we can do something about the reality too. But if we don't know what the real reasons are and then ultimately we can't change anything about our program either, right? So it's important to get that. A sudden thing just triggered. I know we're over time, but I'm really passionate about this. I want to just get this last part out, actually. Vera, I realized, like Nadine said about timing, the point of discovery should have been way, way before trials, actually, when you actually interviewed this person. You should have known exactly why they want to actually be here. They would have told you all the reasons, right? During those interviews, instead of usually, HR, they always go, tell me why you want to be here. You can also ask, why would you not want to be here, right? What are some things that you don't like about potentially applying here? And so guess what? You have both sides now in that particular situation. If they drop out, then you go, well, okay, what was it, right? No personal reasons anymore. You kind of already know what they didn't like. And then that is where you can drill down into later anyway. So uh, I agree with Nadine. The timing needs to be at the very beginning, not at the end. Because if you had discovered why this person is really motivated and they had told you this in the interviews in the very beginning, then you would get the deal at the very end, right? You would know or you have disqualified them in the very beginning anyway, right? And not had gone down this pathway. So discovery happens at the first point of contact. Okay. All right. Cool. Good. We got better today. Takeaways, everybody, please follow the guidelines in terms of adding new material. As you can see, if we have good material, we have really brilliant discussions and we can really get into it. Right. So please do that. Let's not waste time on administration anymore. Hope to see everyone on Thursday, I think, right? Is everyone here coming on the Thursday one? Let's do it correctly on Thursday and keep the esteem of this incredible chapter high. Okay.
Please delegate for the next